Take a moment to step away from the noise and listen to what your intuition has been trying to tell you. You may have felt an unusual restlessness lately, a pressure in your chest, or a sudden thought about someone that appeared without reason. Even through silence or distance, it can feel as though something deeper is still unfolding beneath the surface. That feeling is not simply your imagination. It is a sense that an unseen connection is still moving, and your heart is picking up on it. This restlessness is more than anxiety or holding on to the past. It feels like energy shifting in your direction. If you are here now, perhaps part of you has been searching for reassurance that what you have been feeling is real. Your logical mind may question it, but your deeper self senses something that cannot be explained so easily. Your intuition responds to subtle signals, suggesting that what once seemed finished may still be changing. The path has not been easy. You have questioned yourself, wondered whether to let go, and carried the weight of uncertainty when all you could see was silence. Yet that quiet feeling inside has remained, reminding you that something still feels unresolved. Whether that feeling leads to renewed connection or personal closure, it deserves thoughtful attention. If you're feeling this restlessness and want the full message about their return, hit like so others can receive this guidance too. The purpose of this connection may not feel complete yet. Sometimes, before a major change appears in the outside world, there is a period of emotional uncertainty, like the quiet tension before a wave reaches the shore. If you have been sensing that something is shifting, it may be because the silence no longer feels as final as it once did. Small openings seem to appear where there was once only distance, making the connection feel difficult to ignore. You may have wondered whether you were holding on to someone who no longer cared, but your experience has likely felt more complicated than that. While you have been facing doubt and uncertainty, it can seem as though something has also been changing beneath the surface. Feelings that were once hidden may now be becoming harder to ignore. Whether those barriers came from fear, pride, or confusion, they can begin to weaken as people confront emotions they have avoided for a long time. To understand why things may feel different now, it helps to consider what could have been happening during the silence. Someone can appear calm, distant, or in control on the outside, while privately struggling with emotions they have not fully expressed. They may have kept their distance while quietly observing, caught between fear and a desire they found difficult to understand. That inner conflict can create the sense that something has been changing beneath the surface, even before any visible action takes place. They may have tried to appear unaffected, convincing both others and themselves that walking away was the right choice. Yet beneath that calm exterior, an inner struggle may have continued. They may have relied on logic to justify the distance, believing it was the safer path, while fear, pride, or uncertainty made it difficult to face emotions that felt overwhelming. Sometimes people step back not because they feel nothing, but because what they feel seems too intense to handle. Over time, those emotional defenses can begin to weaken. Life without a meaningful connection may start to feel empty, and the role they created for themselves may no longer feel authentic. Even when they try to move on, certain memories or thoughts can keep returning, making them question choices they once believed were final. What begins as missing someone can gradually become a deeper period of self-reflection and emotional growth. There may be moments when memories arise unexpectedly, or when ordinary tasks are interrupted by thoughts they cannot easily explain. Resisting those feelings can become exhausting, leading them to realize that avoidance has not brought the peace they expected. Whether this results in renewed contact or simply greater personal clarity, it marks an important emotional shift. Comment: restless. If you've been sensing their energy lately, even with the silence, instead of finding peace, they may have discovered a quiet sense of longing that never fully disappeared. Distractions, busy routines, or other people may have filled the silence for a while, yet certain thoughts kept returning. In those moments, they may have compared the connection they felt with you to other experiences and realized that what they shared with you carried a depth that was difficult to replace. Those comparisons did not erase the connection, they made it clearer. Over time, those experiences can act like a mirror, reflecting truths that are hard to ignore. What once seemed replaceable may now feel unique, leading them to recognize that some connections leave a lasting impression. Attempts to move on may have brought temporary distraction, but not the sense of fulfillment they expected. As a result, old defenses built from fear or pride can begin to soften, making space for greater honesty and self-reflection. As they look back on past conversations and missed opportunities, they may begin to understand your value with new clarity. This kind of reflection can feel uncomfortable, but it often marks genuine personal growth rather than a temporary emotional reaction. Whether that growth leads to reconnection or simply deeper understanding, it represents a meaningful shift from confusion toward greater certainty. When their resistance finally began to fade, they may have realized that avoiding their feelings no longer brought peace. Sometimes separation creates a powerful contrast, helping someone recognize the value of a connection only after stepping away from it. Type yes if your intuition has been telling you this person is coming back. Rather than finding something easier or less emotionally demanding, they may have discovered experiences that encourage them to reflect on what they once took for granted. During the time apart, they may have sought companionship or distraction, yet those experiences may have highlighted what felt different about your connection. Conversations with others could have seemed more surface level, while memories of the understanding, patience, and comfort they experienced with you remained vivid. They may have come to realize that what they valued most was not only your presence, but the sense of being accepted and understood. As those comparisons continued, they may have recognized that temporary distractions filled time but did not provide the deeper fulfillment they were searching for. They may have started questioning whether they were still living in ways that matched who they were becoming, like trying to open a new door with an old key. Familiar patterns no longer seemed to fit. That growing realization can become the beginning of a deeper understanding of both themselves and the connection they once shared. You were never just an option in their life. You were an essential part of their inner balance. Something deeper has been awakened within them, a memory of what it feels like to truly belong. When two souls connect at the level you shared, they create a kind of energetic home, an invisible space where both can exist without masks, without pretense. This person has come to realize that outside of that shared space, they feel drained and exposed. What once felt like the comfort of distance has now turned into a burden, because there is nothing more exhausting than pretending to be strong in environments where the soul finds no peace. This process of comparison challenged their ego, which wanted to prove that they could move forward without you. But for their deeper self, it was healing. It helped them distinguish between something that only shines briefly and something that holds lasting value. Now they understand that what they share with you is rare, not something that can be found easily. They have realized that attraction can exist with many people, but transformation, the kind that truly changes and elevates a person, was something they only experienced with you. This realization has slowly shifted their desire to run away into a growing need to return, not out of dependence, but from a place of clarity and recognition of your worth. The longing they now feel is not passive or rooted only in the past. It is active, pulling them toward the possibility of reconnecting with that sense of wholeness. Comment soul. If you believe this connection is deeper than logic and meant to reunite, they have come to see that their life feels more aligned and meaningful when you are part of it. The absence you created has become something deeply noticeable in their everyday life. Your silence has communicated more than words ever could. This awareness has reawakened something within them, a memory that what exists between you did not begin randomly. It is connected to something deeper, something beyond a single moment in time. To fully understand this, it requires looking beyond the surface level of human thinking and seeing it from a wider perspective. What connects you is not coincidence. Your meeting was not random or based on chance circumstances. You are part of something greater, something that was set into motion long before your paths crossed in this physical world. It is like a silent agreement, a deeper understanding between two energies that they would find each other and influence each other's growth. That is why your connection felt so immediate and familiar from the beginning. It was not something new, but something remembered. And often within such connections there is a period of separation, not as a punishment, but as a necessary phase of growth. The distance you experienced was not an error. It was a meaningful pause guided by a deeper intelligence. Both of you needed that time apart to learn lessons that could not have been understood while together. There were parts of this person's inner world that they needed to face on their own, shadows they had to confront without projecting them outward. And now, as those lessons begin to settle, something within them is shifting, preparing them for what comes next. You. And perhaps you also needed time to rediscover your own inner strength and to truly understand that your happiness cannot depend entirely on another person. This time apart became a space where the unhealthy patterns of fear and attachment were slowly burned away. It acted as a preparation for something more balanced and mature. Understand this clearly. In the realm of energy, physical distance is often just an illusion. There is an unseen thread, like a red string of energy, that keeps you connected no matter how far apart you are or how much silence exists between you. This thread may stretch, it may twist, and it may become tangled, but it does not break. It behaves like a rubber band. The more one person tries to pull away, the more tension builds between both ends. Eventually, that tension reaches a limit. When it becomes too strong, a deeper force takes over and gently pulls the person back toward you. There is also an important role you have played recently, one that you may not fully recognize yet. It is very possible that you reached a moment where you decided to release control. You stopped trying to force outcomes, stopped chasing, and instead turned your attention inward toward your own growth and well-being. By reclaiming your energy and focusing on your own life, you shifted the entire dynamic of this connection. Share this if you want someone who's waiting on their person to see this sign today. You stopped sending out energy rooted in longing and began radiating a sense of wholeness. And by doing that, you activated a natural principle of the universe. The universe does not tolerate emptiness for long. It always seeks to fill a space. When you stopped occupying this person's space with your constant thoughts, waiting, and concern, you created a kind of energetic opening. Within that quiet space, the other person began to confront their own truth. Your decision to step back and do nothing was in reality the most powerful action you could have taken. By letting go of control, you allowed life itself to step in and restore balance. You created a kind of magnetic pull, an invisible vacuum that now draws this person back toward you with a renewed intensity. What they feel is not just mental. It is something deep within them, something physical and undeniable. They feel that something important is missing, and deep down they recognize exactly what it is. This is how balance is restored between two connected souls. The resistance they once held onto has been slowly dissolved by the strength of this bond. When two people are meant to grow together, their paths tend to cross again, guided by subtle signs and inner shifts. The period of separation, which once felt like a test or a form of training, is beginning to come to an end. The purpose behind that distance has been fulfilled. Both of you have gained the lessons that needed to be learned individually, and now the natural cycle begins to move toward reunion. The energy that was once scattered is gradually returning, forming something stronger and more vibrant than before. Because energy is not limited by time or physical barriers, this reconnection is already taking place on deeper levels. It sends out subtle waves that can be felt in the body and the heart. You may have already started noticing small signs of this shift. These are signals that your logical mind might try to dismiss, but your inner awareness quietly acknowledges. At this stage of your journey, it becomes important to pay attention to the small details around you. Life communicates in subtle ways when something meaningful is about to unfold. If these energy shifts feel real to you, comment "shift" below. You may have experienced an ordinary moment when thoughts of this person suddenly appeared without any effort, almost as though their presence quietly entered your awareness. It can feel more vivid than a simple memory, especially after a meaningful relationship. Some people experience unexpected emotional shifts or find themselves thinking about someone without a clear trigger, which can happen for many reasons, including lingering emotional attachment and the mind naturally revisiting significant connections. Comment "awakening" if you're ready for them to take the next step toward you. You may also notice repeating patterns, such as familiar numbers, hearing their name unexpectedly, or coming across a meaningful song just when you needed it most. Many people see these moments as reminders to stay patient and reflective, while others view them as coincidences that gain personal meaning through their own experiences. Whether you interpret them spiritually or psychologically, they often encourage you to pause and pay attention to your inner world. Sometimes a familiar scent, a place or a feeling can instantly bring someone to mind, reminding you of the connection you once shared. These moments can feel deeply personal and meaningful, even if they cannot always be explained. The most important thing is to let them inspire thoughtful reflection rather than certainty about another person's feelings or future actions. Like this video, comment which part resonated most with your situation, and subscribe for more messages on soul connections and divine timing.